All right, we're here once again with the next episode of The Horseman's Voice. We've got a third generation international horse person. Jack, you there?
How's it going?
I'm going all right, mate. Where are you now currently is the question. You've been bouncing all over the world, and I guess everybody internationally wants to know where you are currently.
Right now, living with my parents. We live in Cream Ridge, which is right in central New Jersey. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess what was the latest move, I guess from Oz back to the States? Was it in the last, 3 or 4 years, was it?
Yeah, I've been moving around a little bit, but I come back here and was here for 2 years. I got here in really early 2016, and I was working for Ross Krogan as a groom for a couple years, and then Brett and my two sisters moved over, and my mum. That was about mid-2017. And then I actually took a year, I worked with Brett for a little bit, and then I went back to Australia and was just, working, not even with the horses over there, doing some construction and just doing this and that, just taking some time off. And then I really started thinking about, driving seriously when I was over there, and just thinking about, what I was going to do as any career. And come back over here to take a big crack at it, and that's what I did. I come back in, it would have been February 2020, just before we went into lockdown, and now here we are.
So you're a third-generation horse person. You're originally from Perth, Australia. You were born out there, is that correct?
No. I was actually born in New Jersey.
So you were born here stateside, and then I guess, your father decided to retire from the industry, and then you went back to Perth, started living out there. When did he move out there?
That was about 2005.
Wow.
Yeah. I was 10 years old.
Okay. So you grew up on the East Coast. You have an American English / you still have that Aussie dialect, because you, like you said, from when you were 10 until you're in your 20s, and you started to make that move back and forth, and now you're driving exclusively. I mean, so where are you currently working right now then? Are you just driving? Are you getting up and, living the dream? Are you still working?
Yeah, no, I'm still with my dad every morning. I'm over there training with him and whatnot, so that's really, still feels like the main thing I do right now. But, I'm hoping over time to transition to more where I'll just be driving, but we'll see where it goes. If I want to train a couple down the line on my own and do this and that, I mean, who knows, But
so the question everybody wants to know, and I did have a conversation with your grandfather, Brian. I said, would you like to have an interview? And he said, no, have an interview with Jack. He's the best. How does, I mean, just the pressure and just knowing you're third generation, second generation to Brett Pelling, one of the greatest trainers ever. What is it like just to wake up in the morning and go to the barn with your dad?
Oh, I mean, it's great. I mean, and I don't really feel like it's any pressure. I feel like it really gives me a lot of confidence, that you just get to be around somebody that's a real expert. And, I feel like there's been some other people in my life, like, say, Ross, for example, like I was talking about before. I mean, great leader of mine, great example to follow. And, it's definitely a type of thing where him just being my dad my whole life, it's not like I look there and every day think, geez, it's Brett Pelling here or something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, it's great. I mean, it's no problem. I learned a lot from him. I mean, I feel like I've learned, sometimes when I'm talking to people and I tell them I've only really been doing this for 3-4 years, I feel like they're pretty surprised. And I owe a lot of that to my father, I feel, because it's just taught me a lot in a very short amount of time, I feel,
Well, it's definitely in your blood. But, you go into the barn and, just looking at the horses that he has, just what's it like just to walk in and have just walk into a shed row and just have these 100,000, 200,000 plus horses in a shed row. I mean, you're just walking into like pristine elite athletes here, equine athletes. What is that like?
I mean, I'm very spoiled. And the horses we have are great. It makes the job very easy, especially for the younger horses. They want to do it a lot of those nicer babies, and they're just natural athletes. They've got that natural ability. So really, it honestly makes the job as a trainer, I feel like, a little bit easier. But it's amazing. You get to go in, and when it all comes down to races, you're at the big show. So very exciting. It's great. Of course, you wouldn't want it any other way.
So, without giving away any of your dad's secrets or anything, you're talking about driving. Do you think timing is basically instilled in you? You think you have that gift of just sitting behind a horse and knowing how fast you're going to the quarter, to the half, 3/4, and coming home?
No, trust me, that is something that I'm very much learning. I don't see myself as any type of expert or anything yet. I think I've picked it up pretty quick. I'm having a good go, but I'm learning a lot. Even, I've been driving for 3 months. If you talked to me a couple months ago now, which is, just a very short amount of time to now, I've picked up so much, just because I've only probably driven 100 races, and, so in a couple months there, that's 60, 70 starts. That's most of my whole career right there, so you know what I mean?
And you're exclusively driving at freehold for the moment, so you're on the half specifically.
Yeah. I've driven a couple for my dad at a couple other tracks just here and there, but I'm pretty much just at freehold, yeah.
So is your confidence on the half basically from growing up and training on a half? Are you just, some people have that gift of speed. They are more patient on the mile. Like, where do you see yourself, I guess, delving into? Do you see yourself a 5/8 driver, a mile driver, or you're just going to, you know what I mean? Like,
well, I have to pick it up as I go along. I've never actually raced on a mile track yet, but I think the half-mile track is definitely its own specific niche, and I'm actually kind of happy that I've done that first of all, because I think the half-mile track really makes you think about the strategy and where you're placed. Very important. But no, just see where it goes. I feel like as a successful driver, you have to be versatile. You have to be able to, just adapt to any condition, any situation. So the tracks is part of that,
And then is there any drivers, I guess, at freehold or any of these other tracks that you're driving with that I guess you're growing up with, and you see yourself, I guess, being in that generation? If there's different generations in the business. Is it like Tyler Miller, or is it a Joe Bongiorno? Like, who, I guess, is at your level, I guess, age-wise?
That's the thing. Right over there at Freehold Raceway now, I always make a joke because it feels like me, Luke, and Tyler over there sometimes, because, it's us three. They're both a couple years younger than me, and they've got so much more experience than me, the both of them. But we still are just, it's the three of us over there. We get the off-pick drives and just try to work it out, and it's a lot of fun. I think we really enjoy it.
And you're all multi-generational. That's the gift.
Yeah.
You're all multi-generational, and you have that in your blood. So where do you see yourself? They ask you this when you're growing up in high school, when you're graduating. Like, where do you see yourself, I guess, in a year or 2 years? You still see yourself at freehold, or maybe expanding like to a 5/8 or a bigger track?
Yeah, hopefully everywhere. Hopefully drive a couple of the Meadowlands, drive some at Chester. Anywhere, I've really told people early on, and told myself early on, that, I've told someone, listen, if you race this horse at Poconos 2 hours away, and it's in the last race, and you put me down, I'll drive there and be in the one race, the last race for you, no worries. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll hopefully be all over in a couple of years.
Well, what is it? What is the secret? What are you learning, I guess, being multi-generational and being in the business for so long? Is it listening to instructions? Is it all about relationships? Is it changing instructions and, being that great driver out on the track and adapting? Really, what is it about catch driving that's going to propel you, I guess, in the future?
I mean, it seems to be a lot to it, and obviously I'm just starting off. I mean, you gotta, I think a lot of it comes down to your relationships with the other drivers. Gotta make sure that, everyone is, you give respect, you get respect out there type of thing. And, your relationships with the trainers, just being able to converse with them and just give them good feedback and stuff goes a really long way, I think. And, just things like that. Just putting yourself in the right situation. I think as a young person, not making any crazy moves. I think people want to see you just being a safe, reliable driver. Like anybody can pull the right line and just go winging down the track. That's the easy part. The right part is, making the safe moves and just looking like you know what you're doing out there. I mean, that's what I focus on right now.
Yeah, well, you definitely are talking like a veteran. You're definitely talking like somebody who's got vast experience in the sport at such a young age. Is there anybody out in the business you want to give a shout out to? Obviously, your grandpa, your dad, your mom, your family for supporting you coming back and forth and now being back in the States. Is there anybody, Ross Krogan, anybody else you want to give a shout out to that's helped you, I guess, throughout the years?
Yeah, I mean, Ross was a massive thing for me early on. I mean, teaching me everything with the grooming. And I was, when I look at myself, I come here when I was 21, Ross taught me a lot about just growing up and calming down and getting on with my work, not even to do with the horses, just to do with working, so I give him a big shout out to that. And, obviously my parents and whatnot, as you've said. Who else can I think of? Jackie and Gracia, she helped me a lot early on getting my license, really made that whole process just super smooth. I mean, she had a lot of confidence in me, so big thumbs up to that. And, no, I mean, there's been people all over. I feel like all the drivers are very kind to me whenever I've talked to them. Andy and Todd, I try to give them a chat, and they've given me some good feedback. And, no, I have to say, honestly, that, being third generation probably something to do with it. I feel like I've had a very smooth run, so I'd almost say that everyone in the industry that would hear this that has come in contact with me, I'd thank them, you know what I mean? It's been very nice. So.
Well, we appreciate the recommendation from your grandfather. We've got your father listening in, and it's been a great interview, and I just truly wish you the best in the business, man. It's been great talking.
Hey, no worries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.